We obsess over budgeters, we analyze the debt payoff crowd. But nobody talks about the person doing everything right on paper, maxing their 401k every year, never missing once, disciplined, obedient, quietly building a trap with their own savings. And it all traces back to one rule that was never the whole story. Picture this. It's 1985. You're 32. First real job with benefits. HR hands you a 401k enrollment form and says 4 words. Max it out always. Your parents had pensions. This felt smarter. You contribute the full amount every year. The balance grows. Coworkers congratulate you. The rule works exactly as advertised. You are the responsible one, the one who figured it out. Now flash forward to 2019. Same person, 66, ready to retire. The balance looks impressive, but 3 things nobody mentioned are simultaneously true. First, you're in a higher tax bracket than expected, Social Security, and required minimum distributions stacked together. Second, you have almost nothing liquid. The bathroom needs $18,000 of work. Third, accessing the 401k triggers income tax either way. The rule worked perfectly, and the rule cost you. Maxing your 401k teaches discipline, but nobody teaches sequencing. The gap between those 2 things is where decades of careful saving quietly goes wrong. Here's the first weird thing about 401k maximizers. They're following the rule exactly as instructed. The problem is the rule they're following isn't the actual rule. Max your 401k was shorthand for capture your full employer match, not hit the IRS ceiling before opening any other account. Those 2 instructions collapsed into one around 1992, and nobody corrected it. Vanguard's 2023. How America Saves report found that among workers contributing beyond the employer match threshold, 41% had no active Roth IRA and no health savings account, skipping 2 superior accounts to overfund one ordinary one. Meet Kevin. Makes $95,000, contributes $23,000 to his 401k, has $800 in checking and 0 HSA. He followed the instruction perfectly and missed the entire point of it. It's not discipline, it's compliance, mistaken for optimization. Here's something that confuses financial planners when they see it at scale. The most committed 401k maximizers are frequently the most financially fragile in a real emergency. Most disciplined saver in the building. One burst pipe away from 22% credit card interest. They contribute $1,900 a month to a locked vehicle. They have $600 in checking. That isn't a values problem. It's a vehicle selection problem. The Federal Reserve's 2023 report on economic well-being found that 37% of adults couldn't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing. A 2023 Bankrate emergency savings report found 27% of high-income earners, many actively maxing retirement accounts, had no emergency fund at all. Your colleague Sandra, $140,000 salary, maxes her 401k. Car needs $3,200 of work. She uses the card. The 401k became the emergency fund. It just charges a 10% penalty and income tax to open it. Here's a stat that surprises accountants when you put it in front of them. The entire logic of a traditional 401k rests on one assumption. You'll be in a lower tax bracket when you withdraw. For a growing number of retirees, that assumption is wrong. Required minimum distributions hit at 73. Social Security becomes taxable above income thresholds. By the time everything stacks, the retirement tax rate isn't lower. For many people, it's higher. A 2022 National Bureau of Economic Research study found that 40% of retirees face higher marginal tax rates in retirement than during their working years, driven primarily by required minimum distributions stacking with other income. A retired couple, $1.8 million in a traditional 401k, forced to withdraw $87,000 at 73. Combined with Social Security, they land in the 22% bracket. They planned for 12%. You didn't reduce the tax, you deferred it. Those aren't the same thing. Let's talk about the account sitting right next to the 401k on your enrollment page. The health savings account. Triple tax advantaged. Contributions go in pre-tax. Growth is tax-free. Qualified medical withdrawals come out tax-free. After 65, any withdrawal is taxed like a traditional 401k, making it a second retirement account disguised as a medical one. By every objective measure, it's the superior account for every eligible dollar. The Employee Benefit Research Institute's 2023 HSA database report found that only 18% of HSA-eligible workers maximize their contributions, while 63% of those same workers were contributing at or above their 401k employer match level. The 2026 HSA limit is $4,300. The 401k ceiling is $23,500. Most people max the bigger number and quietly ignore the smarter one. It's not laziness. Nobody taught them the order. But here's the twist. The traditional 401k may be costing you on taxes you haven't paid yet. Traditional 401k contribute pre-tax, pay income tax on every dollar in retirement. Roth IRA contribute after tax, pay nothing on growth or withdrawals ever. For anyone under 50 expecting a flat or higher future tax rate, the Roth wins mathematically. But the 401k maximizer funds the deferred account first and never has bandwidth left for the Roth. Vanguard's 2023 How America Saves report found that among households earning $100,000 to $149,000, 71% contributed to a traditional 401k beyond the match. Only 36% held an active Roth IRA. Your colleague in her mid-30s, $110,000 salary, $23,000 into the traditional 401k, zero into the Roth. She'll pay income tax on every dollar of a projected $2.4 million balance. The 401k didn't eliminate the tax. It saved it for later, with interest. Here's the first weird thing nobody says about a $1.4 million 401k balance. You cannot use it. Not without consequences. Not for a down payment, a child's tuition, or a business. Not for an emergency before 59 and a half, without a 10% penalty, plus ordinary income tax on top. That money is real. It's yours. And it's nearly inaccessible if life requires anything unexpected in the next decade. A 2022 T. Rowe Price Retirement Savings and Spending Study found 29% of 401k participants took an early withdrawal or loan before age 59 and a half, paying penalty plus income tax, erasing years of compounded tax advantage growth in a single transaction. Marcus, 49, needed $57,000 during his divorce. Pulled from the 401k after taxes and penalties, it cost him $73,000. 2 decades of discipline erased in one difficult year. Locking every dollar in one place isn't discipline. It's concentration risk, wearing a virtue badge. Full employer match first, always, then HSA, then Roth IRA, then taxable brokerage. And only after that, go back and max out the 401k. The discipline was never the problem. The order was, drop a comment. Which account have you been funding last? That should have been first.